Before the news in detail, here is a special message. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround maintenance of the Anambra State economy and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the task ahead. Good morning and welcome to the morning news. My name is Chidimma Oranwa. Deputy Governor of Anambra State, Dr. Onyeka Chukwu-Ibezim, says that the Professor Chukwuma Soludo's meeting with the disability community and the elderly is part of the effort of the governor towards giving all in the Anambra a sense of belonging without leaving anyone behind in his government. Deputy Governor Ibezim stated this in an event organized by the state government at Emir's House, Oka, to honor the elderly and the people living with disability, as well as celebrate an illustrious son of the state, Prince Arthur Eze, at 75. Government House correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo tells us more.
Ibezim, while acknowledging that the strength of every society depends on the weakest link, said that the administration of Professor Soludo is committed towards transforming the lives of the downtrodden and lifting the poor in the states out of poverty. Dr. Ibezim then congratulated Prince Eze on his 75th birthday, commending him for using his wealth to impact positively on the society.
He has a clear mantra: leaving no one behind, and that the strength of any society depends on the weakest link. So once you strengthen the weakest link, the society will be strong.
On his part, the chairman, Anambra State Disability Rights Commission, Barrister Chuks Ezewuzie, thanked Governor Soludo for identifying with the disability community in such capacity and also celebrating Prince Eze, whom he said has continued to put smiles on the faces of the people living with disability in the state and beyond, describing the act by the state government as unprecedented. Barrister Ezewuzie used the opportunity to call for inclusion of people living with disabilities in decision-making of government at all levels, emphasizing on the need for special care, identification, and recognition of the group by the government.
It's a wonderful opportunity to say thank you. So we appreciate the gesture of Mr. Governor to honor the best in our society. This will spur him, Prince Arthur Eze, to even do more.
Contributing, the Transition Committee Chairman for Anocha Local Government Area, Chief Gerald Ozo, while commending Governor Soludo for deeming it fit to identify with disabled, downtrodden, and the elderly in the state, said that the act shows that the governor is compassionate about the people he leads and is really committed to carrying everybody along, even as he described Prince Eze as a philanthropist of repute who has continued to make Anambra State proud in Nigeria and beyond, wishing him more fruitful years ahead.
He has been a blessing, a philanthropist of great repute. He has been a blessing to the entire Igbo land and Nigeria in general. For the state government to align with him today, that is birthday, and marking it with the disabled, the elderly, shows that our governor is somebody that is compassionate about the masses that he leads. It shows that he works with the needy and the downtrodden.
In Oka, I am Emmanuel Okonkwo reporting for ABS News.
A community leader in Anocha Local Government area of Anambra State, Chief Moses Enujoa, has expressed the optimism that a budget of 410 billion naira presented by the State Assembly, or rather to the State Assembly by Governor Chukwuma Soludo, will help his administration sustain the One Youth, Two Skills Empowerment Program, massive construction of roads across the state, and improvement in healthcare service delivery. Correspondent Joseph Ebocha has detailed.
Speaking after he paid courtesy visit to the Managing Director of Anambra Broadcasting Service, ABS, Sachido Bidiegu, Chief Enijora specifically noted that the Youth Empowerment Program is a bold step in addressing insecurity, unemployment, and the youth restiveness. He expressed optimism that the over 400 billion naira budget will speed up development of the state, given that Governor Soludo is prudent in management of resources. Chief Enijora said Nri and other communities have benefited from from Governor Soludo's teachers recruitment exercise and expressed hope that his community will continue to benefit from more of the governor's laudable programs. On his programs for the community, Chief Enujora said he would key into the youth empowerment program of Governor Soludo as well as other programs that will be of benefit to the community if he emerges President General. On his visit to the ABS boss, Chief Enujora, who has been sponsoring Nriamaka on ABS radio, said the visit was to identify with Sachido and find other ways to boost finance of the station through advert placement.
For youth empowerment is one of my basic things if I'm voted in, because of they reduce the rate of crime. When youths are busy, a crime will be a thing of the past. So that's why we queue in. Now, support. So can the youth Anambra State
Welcoming his guest, the ABS boss Sachido said Nri stands to benefit from the wealth of experience and the exposure of Chief Enujora. He commended him for keying into the youth empowerment program of the Soludo administration, saying it would help address criminality among the youths.
The youths in Nri will benefit from what you want to key into. There are quite a number of youths that have these skill sets, but they are not empowered. So I want to encourage you. When you do that, that will reduce, criminality in our society.
In Oka, Joseph Ebocha reporting for ABS News.
History was made on Saturday, November 25, 2023, when a sitting governor of Anambra State, for the very first time, visited Olumbanasa in Anambra West, the local government area, hitherto categorized as one of the unreachable areas of the state. Governor Chukwuma Soludo CFR dared where others dodged by completely avoiding like a plague, and by so doing, Soludo demonstrated uncommon courage and unprecedented hands-on leadership. He clearly showed through his rare venture that he is the governor of everybody and not just those whose locations can be conveniently accessed through well-paved roads. The governor, upon reaching Olumbanasa, proceeded to mediate in the fratricidal conflict between Alonogwa and the Odepe communities, which proved fruitful as he was able to persuade them to cease the hostilities in order to enable government properly look into the inflammable issue of land boundaries, which would eventually culminate in final agreement among the warring parties. During the visit, the governor also announced that he is committed to establishing a primary health center in the community that will be powered by solar energy. The governor rounded off the tour at Iwedo, where the traditional ruler of Olumbanasa, His Royal Majesty Igwe Pius Amachonu, paid a glowing tribute to Governor Soludo for demonstrating exceptional love for his people. The governor's voyage to Olumbanasa is therefore a sign of hope to all the communities that have been categorized as the so-called unreachable areas. A staff of Chukwuemeka Odumegwu Ojukwu University, Iwariam campus, Mr. Collins Okelue, has embarked on a love journey as he took his wife-to-be, former Miss Anastasia Nwazulahu, to the altar for holy matrimony. The ceremony took place at St. Patrick's Cathedral, Oka, where the couple professed their love for each other to become husband and wife. Correspondent Emmanuel Chiwata tells us more.
Cardinal Opaleke emphasized the sacredness of marriage, urging the couple to respect and love each other. The chairman on the occasion, Senator Ume, expressed joy at the event and prayed for unity while discouraging third-party interference. The groom's parents, Chief Peter and Mrs. Bridget Okelue, expressed happiness not just for the wedding, but for being alive to witness all their children's marriages.
I should thank God for making it. It was not by man's making, and it was by God's making that made it.
Similarly, the bride's parents, Chief Valentine and Mrs. Ngozi Nwazulahu, considered the marriage an answered prayer and a source of joy. Responding, Mr. Collins and Mrs. Anastasia Okelue shared their love journey, attributing their new status to divine grace, while thanking all who journey to celebrate them.
Thank all those who have come to celebrate with us, and we pray that the celebration will never depart from their family.
The event featured cutting of the wedding cake with an elaborate dance as well as wining and dining. The event also had in attendance the Speaker of the Anambra State House of Assembly, Right Honorable Somto Chukwudeze, Secretary to the Anambra State Government, Professor Solochukwu Lobelu, Chief Valentine Ozigbo, the Transition Committee Chairman of Dunukofia Local Government Area, Mr. Augustine Nonyalom, the Managing Director of the Anambra Broadcasting Service, Sachido Obidiegu, staff of COOU Ibariam, and several other dignitaries. Emmanuel Shibata for ABS News.
The Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, has begun an investigation into the circumstances surrounding United Nigeria Abuja-bound flight, which was diverted to Asaba International Airport. Consequently, officials have said the regulator may suspend all the wet-leased aircraft under the carrier's operations. The Director General and Chief Executive Officer, Musa Nuhu, said in a statement that the Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has commenced investigation into the circumstances surrounding United Nigeria flight NUA 0506 to Asaba and the confusion it has created in the public domain. However, preliminary steps have been taken pending conclusions of the ongoing investigation. An accident at a platinum mine in South Africa has killed 11 workers and injured 75. Impala Platinum Chief Executive Nico Mueller described it as the darkest day in the company's history. The mining firm said that accident involved a winding rope connected to a lift which hoists people up and down the mine shaft. South Africa has some of the world's deepest mines. It is a leading producer of platinum, gold, and other raw materials. And now sports. Team Nigeria at the weekend finished the second behind champion South Africa at the 9th African Canoe Olympic qualifier held at Jabi Lake, Abuja. 4 Nigerians are also qualified for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games from the championship. The 4-day Confederation of Africa Canoeing CAC Canoe Sprint and Para Canoe Africa Championships, which also served as a Paris 2024 Olympics qualifier, featured 16 countries including Ghana, Senegal, Sao Tome and Principe, Togo, and host Nigeria. The athletes competed for medals and Olympic ticket in C1 200 meters women, C2 500 meters women, C1 1000 meters men, C2 500 meters men, K1 meter men, and K1 500 meters women, and K2 500 meters women. The winner in each category qualified directly for the games, while the second and third place athletes would have to explore other windows of qualification to compete in Paris next year. Tears have flowed freely as the remains of the late Mr. Cyriacus Okpala arrived at Ebele village, Achina, in Agotekanto area of Anambra State for his final burial rites and interment. A brief prayer was offered for the repose of his soul in line with the Catholic faith, accompanied by song and prayers to commit his soul to the final resting place, after which his corpse was lowered to Mother Earth. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike was there and reports.
Of 65 was an Aba-based businessman whose mourners said was a committed Christian and a peacemaker, remembering their father, the first son and the first daughter of the deceased. Mr. Chinedu Okpala Ozigbo and Mrs. Chinwendu Okeke said that their father, who was popularly known as Ikejimba, died after a brief illness, and explained that, as his nickname suggests, he was the strength to the voiceless who stood for the truth in all his dealings. They promised to uphold his legacy of love and happiness as a defender of the downtrodden. In a condolence message, the Board of Management, Anambra Broadcasting Service, OCA, led by the Managing Director, Sachido Obidiegwu, represented by the Director of Engineering Department, Engineer Paul Okoye, acknowledged the peaceful life lived by the deceased, which he said is being lived by his son, Kelechi Opalezubo, of the ABS, and prayed God to give them the fortitude to bear the irreplaceable loss. Appreciating his sympathizers, Mr. Kelechi thanked his guests for their support and prayed God to continue to meet them at the various points of their needs.
First one, I have to thank my kindred, because
from Achina in Agwata local government area, Chibuzo Bidike, ABS News.
And that's just it on the news this morning. But before we go, remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page. Follow us at Anambra Broadcasting Service. Subscribe to our YouTube page at ABS Television OCA. Follow us on X at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Log on to our website at www.absradiotv.com. And now the main point again. Anambra State government has reassured residents of improved welfare. Governor Saludo has been praised for his youth empowerment programs. Nigeria Civil Aviation Authority has commenced the investigation on a flight diversion from Abuja to Asaba Airport. And on the foreign scene, we told you that no fewer than 11 workers have been killed in South African mining accident. To end the news, here's a special message again. Governor Chukwuma Soludo has come for a total turnaround, maintenance of the Anambra State economy, and promotion of core Igbo values. Let's give him maximum support for the tax ahead. And that's it on the news this morning. Many thanks for joining us. My name is Chidima Oranwa. Good morning.